Imagine being told there are places on Earth so mysterious, so dangerous, or so restricted that you will never set foot in them. No matter how much money you have, no matter how adventurous you feel, access is simply impossible. And the strangest part is that many of these places are not in outer space, not buried deep in another dimension, but right here on our planet. Hidden behind fences, guarded by nature, or sealed off by governments, they are real locations where humans are not allowed to go. And today, I will take you on a journey through 5 of the most forbidden places in the world. Stay with me until the end, because the final one is so strange that it will leave you questioning why it even exists at all. Let's begin with a place that is famous and yet completely off-limits. North Sentinel Island, part of the Andaman Islands in the Indian Ocean. At first glance, it looks like paradise. White sand beaches, turquoise waters, lush green forests. But paradise turns to danger the moment you try to approach. That's because the island is home to the Sentinelese, one of the last uncontacted tribes on Earth. For thousands of years, they have lived in isolation, rejecting any contact with the outside world. Anyone who tries to come close is met with hostility. Arrows fly before you even reach the shore. Boats that drift too near are attacked. In 2018, a young missionary who tried to land was killed within minutes. The Indian government has declared the island strictly off-limits, not only to protect outsiders, but also to protect the tribe. Their immune systems have no defense against modern diseases, and even a simple cold could wipe them out. North Sentinel is forbidden because it is both dangerous for us and deadly for them. It's a reminder that some corners of humanity are not meant to be disturbed, and that curiosity can sometimes cost lives. Now imagine stepping into a place that holds not people, but secrets. Deep in the Nevada desert lies Area 51, perhaps the most famous restricted site in the world. To most, it is just a military base. But the myths surrounding it are endless. People whisper about UFOs, alien bodies, experimental aircraft, and top-secret technologies hidden from the public. For decades, the US government refused to even acknowledge its existence. When satellites finally revealed its outlines, the speculation only grew. What exactly happens inside those hangars? Why the secrecy? Even today, if you drive close to the perimeter, you'll be met with armed guards and signs warning that deadly force is authorized. Trespassing is not an option. Whether or not the stories about aliens are true, one thing is certain. Area 51 is a place you will never be able to freely visit. The mystery surrounding it is part of its power. It makes us question how much our governments know and how much they hide. The desert may look empty, but behind those fences is a reality none of us are allowed to see. If those two sound intense, let's move to a place where nature itself is the gatekeeper. In Siberia, there is a hole in the earth that seems like it belongs in a science fiction story. It's called the Kola Super Deep Borehole. Scientists began drilling there in the 1970s, trying to see how far into the Earth's crust they could go. After years of work, they reached more than 12 kilometers down, deeper than any other human-made hole. What they found shocked them. Rocks that should have been solid turned out to be fractured. Water was discovered where none should exist. The temperatures were far hotter than expected, making further drilling impossible. Then, mysteriously, the project was abandoned. The site is now sealed, closed off to visitors, covered by rusting metal. Local legends say strange sounds were heard from deep inside, like screams rising from the earth. Scientists dismiss it as myth, but the fact remains: the hole is forbidden. Not because guards patrol it, but because it represents a boundary we are not meant to cross. The Earth keeps its secrets, and when we dig too deep, it pushes back. From the depths of the earth, let's move to the vault of the future. In a remote part of Norway, on the island of Spitsbergen, lies the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. Picture a massive door carved into the side of a mountain, leading to a tunnel buried in permafrost. Behind it are millions of seeds, samples from almost every plant species on Earth. The goal is simple but profound: to protect the world's biodiversity in case of disaster. War, climate change, pandemics, no matter what happens, these seeds will survive. Only a handful of people are allowed inside, and the vault is kept under strict security. For the average person, entry is impossible. You can stand outside, take photos, and imagine the treasure locked inside, but you will never walk the halls where the future of agriculture is being preserved. The seed vault is forbidden not because it is dangerous, but because it is sacred. It is humanity's backup plan, a safety net we hope we never have to use. Yet the fact that it exists at all tells us how fragile our food supply truly is. And now we arrive at the strangest, most unsettling place of them all. In Brazil, in the Amazon River, lies Ilha da Queimada Grande, better known as Snake Island. Imagine an island where you cannot take a single step without the risk of death. This is not an exaggeration. The island is home to the golden lancehead viper, one of the deadliest snakes in the world. Their venom can melt flesh and kill within minutes. And on this island, estimates say there is one snake for every square meter. Trees, rocks, beaches, everywhere you look, snakes wait. No humans live there, and the Brazilian government has banned visits. Only a few scientists, under heavy protection, are ever allowed to set foot there. Everyone else is forbidden. Snake Island is a nightmare made real, a place where nature has claimed dominance and declared humanity unwelcome. It shows us that sometimes the barrier isn't governments or fences, but nature itself saying, "Stay away." So what do all these places have in common? They are forbidden, yes, but for very different reasons. North Sentinel Island is protected to save both the tribe and outsiders from destruction. Area 51 is sealed to guard secrets we may never fully know. The Kola borehole is closed because it pushed science to the edge of what is possible, and maybe beyond. The Svalbard Seed Vault is forbidden because it holds the keys to our survival. And Snake Island is off-limits because stepping there is like stepping into a death trap. Together, they show us that the world is full of mysteries, places that resist our curiosity. And maybe that's a good thing. Think about this. As humans, we want to explore everything. We climb the highest mountains, dive into the deepest oceans, and launch rockets into space. But these forbidden places remind us that not everything is meant for us. Some secrets must remain untouched. Some doors should stay closed. And in that limitation, there is both frustration and wonder. It makes the world feel bigger, more mysterious, and more alive. So now I want to ask you, if you could visit just one of these places, which would it be? Would you risk the arrows of the Sentinelese to glimpse a world untouched by modern life? Would you sneak into Area 51 to discover if the alien stories are true? Would you climb down the Kola borehole to see what waits in the depths of the earth? Or would you dare to step onto Snake Island, knowing every second could be your last? Share your thoughts, because the conversation is part of the adventure. And if you enjoyed this journey through the forbidden corners of our planet, make sure to subscribe, because there are countless more mysteries waiting to be explored.